Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is Tips Day, and this week we have week 2 of Mel's tips. Before I begin on these tips, and yes, I kept the same suit as promised. You can decide why if you watched last week's episode. I gave you some reasons why I kept it on. Which one do you think it was? Anyways, apparently the powers that be were listening to my video last week because they're working in the next room. And I said Journeys Cruises were 10 days, it's 9. I also said there were only 4 horses in the horse racing and there are 6. So yeah, I'm not perfect. I like to think I am. I don't. No. And also, yes, I looked it up. I talked about an emergency number. So if you didn't watch last week's, I talked about how when we leave a note for our friends that watch our cats. We have various people come in at different points typically. So we always leave a letter with instructions on how to get a hold of us in an emergency. And did you know that Carnival has an emergency number? All cruise lines will have one, but specifically Carnival's because that's the one we typically cruise with now. 877-885-4856. So leave that number for any friends that are watching your house, cats, dogs, fish, snakes, whatever. And snakes came out of nowhere, but whatever. Probably because I haven't worn my snakeskin suit in a while. Where is it? Got to wear it again. It's here somewhere. See? I don't even know. Oh, there it is. Snakes. Yeah, so whatever. But leave your ship, sail date, and cabin number with that number. And then if anything happens in an emergency, they'll be able to get a hold of you very quickly. So anyway, that housekeeping. I also wanted to give a shout out. I keep forgetting to do this to my friends in the Red Frog pub on Splendor when we went. I got a shirt up here. They gave us. They at the end of the cruise. They were so nice. They got us all a T-shirt and they all signed the back. So from the Red Frog team on Carnival Splendor, April 2024 for Mick and Julie, from Jaya, Slim, Sang, Eka, and Komang. And there were many others as well. Thank you so much. We will treasure those shirts. Even though they decided I needed a 3XL. I mean, I put some weight on, boys, but not that much. Gave me the incentive to start dieting and lose it. I had these, I don't know if you've seen these. I got these loop things where, because I was putting so much weight on, some of my suits were actually not really fitting very well. Oh, it's tied down still. I haven't even opened that one yet. I got 2 of them. So you can get these little loop extenders you can put into your shorts or whatever, or your suit pants or suit trousers as we call them in England, and you can get a little extension. So I have I bought a couple of packs of them that we take just in case of emergencies. I may or may not wear like a girdly thing that tucks the gut in a little bit sometimes, which is no fun getting off, I can tell you that. Anyway, let's get on with Mel's tips. And I apologize, Mel, last week. I did kind of talk over your tips a little bit, but they were yours, and they were good. So hopefully this week's will be as good. I do like to give my little bit of commentary on the side. Anyway, let's go. Number 1 this week, number 4 overall. Do your own research before the cruise and don't rely on a Facebook group for current or correct information. Cruise line FAQs have a ton of information and you will likely find what you need there. To say I agree with that is an understatement. It's a bit hypocritical for me to say this because I have a couple of cruise Facebook pages myself, but they are pages of cruises that I'm actually doing. Like we have one big one coming up in November next year. You should join us if you're not on it already. We've already sold 64 cabins. It's going to be amazing. It's a cruise on the horizon out of Miami on November the 8th, 2025. Shameless plug, going from Miami to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. And we have lots and lots and lots planned. I got a whole video on it on my page. And if I remember, I'll put a link in the comments to it so you can see more about the cruise itself. But we got a lot planned. We have a hotel room block before the cruise we just signed with the The Eve, the YVE hotel, very good rates we got there. Shocked. And we have excursions in Aruba booked. We're working on Bonaire and Curacao, and just loads and loads and loads of things planned. I have a buyout of Gigi's and Cucina del Capitano just for our group. Dreams. Anyway, so this is the way I kind of run my channel as well. I try and keep it factual, which is why I probably don't have that many people follow my channel. I don't do the glorification stuff. I've said that many, many times before. I may even have said it last week because I go on these rants sometimes because it frustrates me that so many people seem to think they know everything about everything cruise-wise, and they do not. Nobody knows everything. Nobody knows nothing, but very few people know everything, if anybody. The people that know everything are the people at Carnival, so use those FAQs. The most common time I use it is if I get a client call me and say, can you confirm, will a birth certificate be okay to get on board the ship? I don't want to reply to them with a written answer of my own, because if that turns out to be wrong, they're going to come back at me. So I will always direct them to the FAQs on Carnival, and I'll say, here's Carnival stand on it, read this, it will cover everything you need. Or I'll call them and send them the link and we'll walk through it together just so they understand. But I always try and send them Carnivals, unless it's a simple question. Like how many drinks can you get in the Cheers package? I'm going to say 15, I'm not going to do that. But for something like that, FAQs, if in doubt, go to the FAQs. Do not listen, and they might well be right, but there's just as much chance they're wrong as correct on these Facebook groups. Believe me, it's such an ego-driven thing. It's like, I'm also a DJ on the side, and in the DJ world, every DJ wants to let another DJ know why what they do is better than what they do. It's incredible. I was helping Julie set up for a wedding last week, and I wasn't working it, but the DJ was there. I'd never met him, just trying to make small talk, and I couldn't get beyond one sentence of explaining anything before he cut me off and told me what he does. So if I started, I use, and that was all it needed. Well, no, I use this. He didn't even hear what I used. That's what a lot of Facebook people are like on cruises. They don't want to hear what you say. They only believe what they say is correct verbatim. Let me give you a roundabout example. And also the sensationalism that goes into it is amazing. So like John Hild will say something, and it'll be just a simple question. I think it's pretty well known I'm not a huge fan of that page, but this is asides. This is nothing negative on John whatsoever. He'll go, what do you think about if we did this? And he's just trying to get conversation out of people, some ideas, some brainstorming. They're not saying they're going to do it. A YouTuber will take that and turn it into, Carnival's going to do this. And they'll get 100,000 views on that video. A Facebooker will watch that video, go on their Facebook page and say, John Hill said this is going to happen. No, he didn't. He was asking for thoughts on what you might like to see. That's how crazy these YouTube channels can get. And it's the same with the Facebook, which loops back to why mine is probably so small, because I try not to sensationalize. I just try and give out facts. And if I don't know the answers, I will look them up. Not so much on these. I'm kind of guessing. We're just having fun with these tips. But, don't take anything I say unless it's a tip I give you, because I've researched that tip. But if I'm coming back in a response to anything that anybody here has said, take what I say with a pinch of salt. Last week, I said journeys were 10 days. They're 9. I said the horse racing had 4. There's 6. It's just what we like to call in England banter. We're going back and forth. We're just chatting. We're not sensationalizing. But we'll leave that one there, because I could go on and on and on about, why. I'm actually glad my channel's not very big, because it tells me people are here for education, not for sensationalizement, or whatever that word would be. And most people want that sensationalized. I don't want that. I want to give out facts. I want to help people. I don't want to lead people down a wrong path of lies. Moving on. Yeah, the FAQs though, use them because they're great. Any cruise, whatever the cruise line is, don't go on a Facebook page and ask, can I do this? Go to carnival.com. Look it up. The answers are very easy to find 99% of the time. And then that is your definitive answer, not somebody that doesn't have any connection to Carnival other than the fact that they've cruised on a Carnival cruise ship or Celebrity or whatever the cruise line is, they don't know necessarily. They might, but you get to the cruise port before you cruise and suddenly your cruise is, no, well, somebody on Facebook said it was okay. It's like with the, here I go again, with the casino offers, right? You get your casino offer. I don't gamble, so I can only speak to what people have told me on this. Time and time again, they think they have this offer, they get on board, and the casino will say, oh no, you don't have drinks around the ship for you and a guest. You only have drinks in the casino. No, but the offer said this. And how do you get around that? Well, number one, you could contact someone like myself and I can print off exactly what the offer covers for you. But a better way to do it is go to what they call oceanplayersclub.com, give them your booking information, give them your sail date and all that stuff, and for what I'm told, I don't do it because I don't gamble, will respond to you within a week or two with what you actually have on that, and you can take that letter, print it out, keep it on your phone, take it out and show it to the casino when you get on board if there's a problem. Yo, Solvik, check out the hook one. Oh God, you'll be humming that now. Why did I do that? But that will cover it. So, it's all about CYA, if you know what I mean. What a long-winded way to get through your first 2.5 line tip, Mel. Am I trying to fill out time? Number 5, don't overschedule yourself. That's all I do. While you really want to see as much as you can, have some downtime, especially if your cruise is port intensive. Sea days are great for reading, watching the waves, or having a nap. Now, Mel, I agreed with number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. On a personal level, I cannot agree with number 5 because I am the complete antithesis of that, which is a very big word, I know, which I believe means the opposite. And if it doesn't, what do I know? I left school when I was 15. I have no education whatsoever. I am from the school of life. But yes, and I can see that's a very good tip to a lot of people, which is why I'm glad you sent that, because that is not a tip I would ever come up with. But not everybody's like me, right? If I was to write that tip, I would be, try not to overschedule yourself, but you probably will. While you really want to see as much as you can, have some downtime that won't actually happen, especially if your cruise is port intensive. And I try and avoid port intensive cruises like the plague, unless it's places I've never been to before. So we used to do a cruise out of San Juan, and because it's so far into the Caribbean, it would be like 6 port days in a row from 7 till 4, and it was just exhausting. I'll never do that again. But some people love that. Not me. I like my sea days. I love this one like the one we've got coming up. Now, and this is a tip within a tip here for you. Here I go again, off all over the place. But if you're looking to go to the Southern Caribbean, which is a very popular cruise now, they're doing more of them than they used to. So there's several ships that do these 8 days to the Southern Caribbean now. But make sure you check the itinerary, and there's 2 reasons why. Well, it's the same reason, but it kind of ties in. They typically will have 2 different itineraries. They're all going to go to Aruba and Bonaire, pretty much. Some Aruba and Curacao, but they're all going to go to 2 of those, the ABC, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. They're going to go to 2 of those 3 islands, minimum. The ones that go to 2 of those islands will probably also go to Amber Cove and La Romana. So usually 4 stops. That's a typical itinerary. Not every time, but typically. The other thing you've got to be careful of when you do ones like that is when you go into Aruba or Bonaire, whichever one it is you go to, it could be both again, it could be Curacao. But one of those 3 is going to be a longer port day. You're going to leave like at 10, 11 at night. This specifically applies to Aruba. If you've been to Aruba, you'll know this. It shuts down at 6 o'clock. All the shops are gone pretty much. There's literally nothing to do apart from the restaurants will be open, but there's not much you can do in the evening. And a lot of those cruises that on the way back go to Amber Cove and La Romana will only be in from like 2 in the afternoon until 10 in the evening. Add on to that Aruba is 1 hour ahead, so that's really 3 till 11 local time. So you have very, very little time to go do anything shopping-wise and stuff like that in the port. When you do the proper ABC cruise, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, and that's it. It's 2 sea days out, and it's typically going to be 8 in the morning till 10 in the evening in Aruba, 8 in the morning till 10 in the evening in Bonaire, and then 8 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon in Curacao. That's a typical itinerary that they have. So you've got all day to do stuff. Again, with the 1 hour knock on, it's 9 till 11, 9 till 11. There's a place there called, I think it's called DeKalb. It's like a water park you can go to. You have to book it through Carnival. If you're on a Carnival ship, they have a monopoly on it, blah, blah, blah. So they obviously increase the price. But if you want to go there, it's going to be dark at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon a lot of the times of the year you're traveling. At 6 in the evening at most. So if you're landing at 2 in the afternoon, which is 3 local time, by the time you get there, it's 4. You're not going to have any time to do anything. So my recommendation is if you are looking to go into Aruba, try and seek out the true ABC, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, 2 sea days, 3 port days, 2 sea days. Try not to do the ones that have that. And if they do 10 to 11, that's great. But check the port time. Oh, I do go on. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Back to Mel's thing I never do. Sea days are great for reading. Reading? I read a menu in a bar. I won't read anything. I'll read the hub, see what's going on. I tried reading a book. There was a period a little while ago, I actually was reading books a little bit because we were flying a lot. I'm talking about going back about 10, 15 years. I got into reading books, especially by John Grisham. I remember that. I had all these books and I read several of them. But now, if I read a book, I start reading it, I'm on about page 7 or 8, and I've actually only read 1 page. I start daydreaming and thinking about other things. I have no attention span. As I've said many times, I have no education. I left school when I was 15, so I teach myself. I don't read. Watching the waves. Nah, not for me. Those sunbeds that people sit in, I can honestly say this, 67 cruises, I doubt I've spent more than an hour sitting on one of them before I've lost interest and got up and moved on. Nope, not for me. Or having a nap. Julie has a nap every bloody day. This is why I drink so much, because I'm not allowed in the room while she's having a nap, because apparently I'm loud. So I have to go sit at the bar, because I'm not going to sit in a chair, because I have ADD to the max. Yes. So yeah, great tip for everybody probably except me. All right, we have a tradition. My one tradition I do every cruise is lunch at Guy's and have a fun ship special beverage, or 3. I may have to switch it up on my next cruise depending on if any new eateries are added to the panorama. As far as that panorama goes, I know what cruise Mel is talking about because I am on it as well. It's a 25-day cruise from Singapore back to Long Beach on a repositioning after a dry dock. I don't think they'll add any eateries. As long as I don't take away Gigi's, I don't care. Don't forget Gigi's and Cucina, they have lunchtime options as well. And there's a lot of food options on Panorama. I don't think they'll add an eatery. You never know. I don't really know what they're doing in the dry dock. I saw on John Heal's page a couple of weeks ago, somebody asked and he didn't know. He does, but he just won't tell anybody. But yes, I don't think anything spectacular is going to happen. It's just whatever, probably more mechanical than anything else, which is why they won't tell you what's going on. But yeah, I love traditions like that. Lunch at Guy's and a fun ship special beverage. I might have to join you on that, Mel. Like with the karaoke. Remember we agreed last week? Mel talked about doing karaoke. We are doing a duet. Remember that. I won't let you forget it. I do Guy's and a fun ship special red stripe, or 15, not 3. All right, thanks, Mel. Awesome. If you enjoyed that, or you didn't, I don't really care, because hopefully you did, but I can't stop you not liking it, whatever. I can only do what I do. I don't care is a harsh word. You know what I mean by that. There's nothing I can do about it, so I can't control how you feel. If you don't like it, that's your prerogative. Don't watch. If you didn't like it, you're probably not listening to this, so who cares? I said it twice now. But send me yours was going to be my overall point. If you have what you consider to be good tips on any cruise line, I don't want to hear why this cruise line is better than this cruise line. I'm not interested in that, and I will. If I start reading them out, I will stop. I'm just warning you, because I don't read them in advance. This is all about education for people to learn about different cruise lines. So if you have tips specifically on celebrity cruises, specifically on Norwegian or Royal Caribbean, people might want to know what to expect, what to look for. You know, we're going on a Royal Caribbean cruise on the Icon of the Seas in August, and I'm looking forward to finding out all about that ship, and I'll have loads of tips, hopefully, about like the key that they have that we've actually purchased, stuff like that. I won't go into that right now because I don't know enough to talk about it, but once we've done the cruise, I'll be explaining it in a lot more detail, hopefully. But if you've got that sort of tip, send them to me. My email is coming up at the end of this video. If you have any questions, send them to me. If I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody that does, so I will find it for you and let you know. And with that, oh yeah, subscribe. See you later, Cruising World. Thanks, Mel. Send me more. And Dave Rosso, you said you'd sent me some. I haven't received anything, so you lied. Send them. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe. Thank you.